Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Calvin Lim Investing. As usual, I'm your host Calvin, and it's that time of the week again. So we're gonna do another weekly earnings preview for the week of May 3rd, 2021. It's probably the last or second to last week where we're gonna have a very hectic earnings week, and we're just kind of gonna go through. This week, there's a lot of smaller or mid-size companies that are very intriguing to me. Some of them have ran a lot in the last year during COVID, as we've gone to a lot more remote work, a lot more tech-oriented environment. So we're just kind of gonna go through a couple of these companies, and then we might chart a couple of them on TradingView just to see what we can find, and that'll be it for this week's earning preview. So before we get started, a couple of key things. There is a Discord you can join. A link is in the description. You can join us and get to know some of the other individuals. Second of all, if you would like to show some support, you can scroll down, smash the like and subscribe button, and I definitely really appreciate all the support. And finally, this is not sound investing advice. I'm not an expert or an advisor, so please contact one if you do really want to get into investing, and always make sure to do your own research and due diligence. So with that being said, let's jump right in. So this week on Monday, as you can see, we have we don't really have anything pre-market except for Berkshire Hathaway, which is going to be the large investment firm or fund, whatever you want to call it. That was founded by the Oracle of Omaha, aka Warren Buffett. It's going to be pretty interesting to see what kind of moves they made, and the market tends to always react a little bit, when Buffett sells or buys a certain stock. After hours on Monday, Chegg is definitely one to watch, as remote learning is going to be coming to the downtrend in the next couple of months. This is going to be interesting to see what Chegg is looking at, their forecast and so forth. Then you're going to have iRobot. iRobot actually pumped. Let's take a look at iRobot actually on TradingView. Let's see. So iRobot actually pumped with the other meme stocks back in January. As you can see, it shot up to almost 200 before crashing down. It's been trading around this range ever since. So this is going to be an interesting ticker to watch. So iRobot is going to be an interesting ticker. Let's chart this one out actually, because I find this interesting. So this chart is on the daily. As you can see, we're going to start off. We see like a small little wedge right here. It's a little small. Well, not that. We can move this one to right here. So it is a little bit of a wedge. If it breaks below, there can be more downside. If it breaks above, there could be some upside. And let's see, we can chart out the support. And it feels like there is a large number of support right here at that 107.9 range. So that's going to be a good number to watch out and look for. So it has bounced from that 107.9, 1, 2, or this doesn't count, I guess. So 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 times it's bounced off that line. So that could be a very interesting ticker to watch based off of earnings. And then you're going to have, Transocean, which is going to be rig. They do a lot of offshore drilling. They do a lot of offshore drilling tech. Excuse me. Then you're going to have Realty Income. It's otherwise known as O. The company owns a lot of properties that are rented out to large tenants such as Taco Bell, Walgreens, CVS, and so forth. And then Tuesday, you're going to have a little bit of a mixed bag. You're going to have, Pfizer, Corsair, Under Armour, and then you're going to have Skills, which has kind of been trading in a weird trend lately. And then ATVI, Activision Blizzard, the gaming, Upwork, Zillow. So Tuesday is going to be a mixed bag. I don't think I see any huge upside on any of these tickers. Corsair might be the one sleeper project. Let's see if we can take a look at that real quick. let's see. So Corsair has been slightly has fallen significantly from this high in January during the time when meme stocks were getting pumped. It did climb back up to the $48 range after its last earnings, and then hitting a large downtrend. So I do think this is a potential sleeper. I may buy some shares of Corsair, but I don't intend on playing options for them this week. And then Wednesday is where it's going to get really, really fun. So we have GM, General Motors, reporting. I think they're going to see something similar to Ford. Let's take a look at Ford, where Ford was facing a semiconductor problem, and they dropped significantly after earnings. So this was pre-earnings. Post-earnings, you can see it dropped. Let's see, it dropped almost $20.50 at the worst part of the peak. So you can see that the semiconductor has given Ford a problem. I might anticipate something similar with GM, so I'm gonna stay away. You have Hilton Worldwide, Hilton Hotels, another travel stock. I'm not too keen on playing Hilton, especially since it's run over 100% since its lows. And then you have, let's see, you have New Residential, NRZ. Nothing too crazy. They're a nice dividend stock, though. I do own some NRZ in my long-term dividend portfolio. And then after close Wednesday is where the fun's going to be at. So you're going to have PayPal. With the adoption of crypto trading via PayPal, this could be a very interesting earnings. Rocket Companies, RKT, let's see what RKT is trading at actually. I haven't kept up with Rocket in a little bit. Oops, wrong ticker. So Rocket has been kind of slumping lately. Another ticker that I probably won't be playing this time around. Yeah, it looks like it's just slumping. I don't think it's gonna see anything great. This was a pump, a squeeze per se, before falling all the way back down tonight. This chart doesn't really look too enticing at the moment. You're gonna have Etsy. I played Etsy a couple of times with people still at home, still wearing masks. It could be kind of interesting, but I think at the moment the upside for Etsy is a little bit limited with the economy coming back and everything coming back to pre-COVID and starting to reopen. I think Etsy is gonna see a little bit of limited upside for the next couple of years. So I think I'm gonna stay away from Etsy, but I will keep an eye on it to see if there's anything in its earnings that are gonna wow me and potentially get me to buy back in. Uber. So Uber actually took a dip on I think on Thursday, when the Secretary of Labor announced that gig workers should be considered normal employees. So you see this huge dip, and this was probably another follow through, but the market was also red on Friday. With this, I do think Uber has room to run back up to pre announcement. So I think it has room to run back up to like $60. You can see that there's significant resistance right here, around right here. It's around the $61 range. There's a significant amount of resistance. If it crosses that, it can move up to 65 and 70. So Uber is one that I'm going to watch. I did buy some shares during the dip and anticipate a nice move. Twilio is also another tech company that's very interesting. They're used by a lot of companies for their customer to support solutions, or a lot of gig economy workers, so that you can anonymously connect two parties. So Uber drivers actually use a lot of Twilio. Twilio's embedded in the Uber network, where when your Uber driver calls you, they're able to reach you without needing to obtain your number. So Fastly, I don't know what to say. Fastly's been stuck for a very long time. I don't see anything that's going to move Fastly up. This earnings probably could have a little bit of impact. Fastly has shown that let's see, it has a tendency to hit this low mark and bounce, but it hasn't bounced yet. So I don't really know. Every time it hits around that like low 60s, it tends to just run up, but I don't know if this time if it's not going to run up. So Fastly is I might grab some shares or a couple of calls for something that's longer dated, but right now I don't plan on playing Fastly earnings. They've actually dumped the right here. Last earnings in October dumped. The last earnings in February dumped. Earnings in August dumped. I think Fastly has disappointed every single earnings so far that I've watched. So definitely a no-go for me. I wouldn't play Fastly unless something crazy happens. Marathon Oil, Sunrun, nothing too crazy. And then Thursday you got Moderna. This is going to probably give you a great idea of how a vaccine-only company is going to be making revenue. Viacom CBS, one of the stocks that was hit hard by the ARRK seller margin call, whatever you want to call it. Whoo, $100 to 41 within 4 days. So that's a huge dip, and then it kept dipping, and now it looks like it's found some sort of support right here above $40. I don't really know what to expect from them at the moment. So, but I am holding a couple of calls that are longer dated. I do anticipate sort of a bump at least above 50 or 60, I would hope. But this is just more of a speculative lotto play, so I'm not heavily invested in them at the moment. And then you're not gonna have anything crazy after those two. You got Fiverr, Regeneron, Wayfair. They're all pretty interesting. They're all pretty okay. Fiverr is big in the gig economy. You can see that. Let's go put up Fiverr, man. So Fiverr has ran pre-COVID. It was trading around $20, and it hit a high of $330. But it's been kind of trading up and down in this range. I don't know what to expect from Fiverr. I really don't. It could either run up or it could break down. Not really sure where it's at the moment. I don't really see a solid support for them. There's not really any solid support at the moment. Maybe this line right here in the 180 would be a nice support. But other than that, there's not really any significant level of support. And then Thursday after close is what I'm going to be looking at. I'm holding shares of Square. I do think Square has done a really great job with Cash App, with crypto, with stock trading, as well as potentially offering banking services, and they're really trying to vertically integrate. Roku, nothing I'm crazy about. Peloton has taken a huge dip following the last couple of weeks with all their issues and the potential dangers of their treadmills or their bikes and equipment. So that's one to watch out for. AMC reopening, maybe it pops back up. I don't know. So that pretty much covers all of the ones that I'm really watching. There's DataDog down here. Let's take a look at DDOG. I don't think DataDog has done anything of late. Yeah, they hit 118, fell all the way down, went all the way back up, and they've been stuck around the 95 to 80 to 95 range, which is a pretty wide range. It has potential right here to climb back up to above past 90. But right now there's a little too much risk versus the reward, so I'm gonna wait a little bit to see what it does before I jump back in. Gonna look for confirmation of an uptrend or breaking this trend before I jump back in, and that pretty much covers it. So I know this video was a little long today. We went through various tickers, we charted some tickers, and definitely this is one of the last weeks of this earnings of this Q1 2021 earnings, where we're gonna see a host of companies reporting. So once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Feel free to scroll down, smash the subscribe button. I will have more videos on the way, maybe analyzing specific tickers. So with that being said, thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you guys around.